is our barbershop quartet name?
Oh.
Whoa. That is an awesome question.
Honeysuckle 4.
So, like, what do you think,
my
Andy?
honeysuckle, my dearest divine. You are my honeysuckle.
I'm going to go with...
The basement dwellers?
I was trying to come up... I can't do it. I was going to try to come up with something that included the word testicle in it.
Butt sex. Get it? Sex. We need to find 2 more guys and we give the butt sex.
That is an awesome
What about gonads in the attic?
Gonads in the attic? I'll go there.
I'm trying to think on the lines of whatever mimes, voices for mimes.
Really bad mimes.
Yeah.
Vocal.
Yeah. Vocal. We should be mimes. Is where it's trying to
An unfortunate set of circumstances.
Yeah, that's probably the best one.
Welcome to the Podcast! Yeah, that's how we start, by the way.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Okay. Welcome to the show. On this show, we play games, talk about cool stuff, stuff that I think's cool anyway, because I look up all shit. So everybody can just fuck off. You don't want to get. Hey, as always, my technical director, Jeff.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for stopping by.
For the first time ever, Andy. Returning guest, Rich. And I am Tim Howard, the most beloved man in the United States.
Yes, he is.
Goalie for the U.S. men's soccer team?
I heard lots of cheering, but that was
It was him versus the entire nation of Belgium yesterday.
yeah.
Save.
Who's the guy that they keep? Did he fight somebody? Or
Luis Suarez I think he's from Argentina or something like
what
that.
was that
No, he
about?
bit a guy. The guy goes up for a header and you can see him lean into his shoulder, and then they both. The guy swings an elbow as you would when somebody bites your fucking shoulder. And they both go down, and the guy who bit him's complaining about getting elbowed in the face. But apparently, he's been kicked out of all FIFA-related things, including soccer, for 9 months.
Wow.
Because this is the 3rd time he's gotten in trouble for biting somebody.
Well,
I did see an article
What
that
preschool
said,
did this dude go to?
there was an article that I saw that said that you were like 50 times more likely to be bitten by this guy than by a shark.
statistically speaking,
Yeah.
There was a picture of him, a reporter got that was on field level, of the guy complaining about his shoulder, and then him trying to complain about his teeth, and it was a cross shot, and somebody photoshopped out his arm and put his arm in the other guy's mouth.
I've seen that.
I'm like, yes.
Nice.
Well done. I also saw a Photoshop thing of Tim Howard today, and it was all the things Tim Howard could save. And it was him deflecting the meteorite from the dinosaurs. And they put his face on Neo's head when he stops the bullets.
Yep, there you go.
Right, it's really
It's
good.
like soccer's become a thing. We talked about this a little bit last time. Soccer is now a thing.
Yeah. Their very first pool match, they scored a 9.1 rating share.
That's a big deal.
Which is NFL level.
Right, that's huge.
I think
numbers.
that's because as the world officially is a global community, America's finally it's starting to, I think, to really start to move into the idea that we're part of that global community and not the source.
Yeah, I would love to think that. I think mostly it just happens that throughout the 80s and 90s, you had all of the soccer moms taking their little children to soccer.
Yeah.
And now they're just grown up enough to buy beer and go watch soccer.
Also, we figured out that we found another thing that we could potentially dominate the world at, and we really like doing that.
That's a good point.
That's the one.
I got a buddy that works across the way at the hotel across the way from my work, and he comes in all the time. He said that if we won the World Cup, we would probably the rest of the world would probably implode with anger.
Probably.
Well, it's like the one thing they have.
Also, nobody in Vegas would have won that bet. Nobody. Not a single
true.
human being.
It's
God would be standing there at the gate going, "Fuck!"
For decades now, we've held the World Series of baseball.
Yeah.
Is it really?
I mean, kind
Really?
There's Canada.
I mean,
Canada's in the mix.
Canada's part of the world.
Actually, I like American style football, baseball, basketball, those sports. Yes, we do have the world championships because our average team could go and beat their best team. Like the Bucks go over to Europe and beat the European champions, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I get it. So I don't know. Japanese play some badass baseball.
they
Of course,
do.
on much smaller
Did you
diamond or much smaller field.
I don't.
Still.
What's the name of that? What's the name of that? It's like a crazy pitch where they throw it up in the air and it goes like 30 feet in the air, and then it comes down directly in the strike zone.
Oh my god!
But it's only traveling at like 50 miles an hour or something like that.
It's like
There's a
impossible.
guy.
It's like almost.
There's a Japanese pitcher in the league right now that does that occasionally. And the first time he did that, he was up against, I can't remember who it was, but he's in the top 10 of the home run race this year. And it just comes in and it gets called strike, and the guy just goes, "All right."
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Well, he just stood there. He's like, oh shit.
Part of me wishes he would have teed off on that shit like hardcore, so he could have just said, "Yeah, that's the way my dad used to pitch to me when I was 8, bitches."
Well, no, but he's the same pitcher. The same pitcher. The previous pitch did 95-mile-per-hour fastball.
Oh, I have no doubt.
So
I
that
have no
just
doubt.
fucked him up in his brain to an infinite degree.
The ultimate
right.
switch up.
So let's finally.
Well, we
get to
just
the game.
totally went off on a sports tangent
Let's get
there,
to the
which we
game
never
we're talking
do.
about.
So, anyway,
right,
hey Mike, what are we playing today?
This week we're playing Spies and Rebels, as we've played previously, but two of you haven't played that. Basically,
Of course
what
I
it
have
is,
no
we
idea. I
have
don't
3
remember
cards
the game.
here, 3 aces and a joker. The 3 aces are the rebels, and we are trying to get through missions, trying to make it so that we are successful to upend the whatever the fuck, who cares? The joker is the spy, and he's pretending to be a rebel, being on our team.
That's right.
What happens every time is we go in a circle, and we'll start with Chad. Chad is going to pick 3 people to go on the mission. And then everybody votes yes or no. We're going to be voting by red and black cards. I have separated them into 2 piles.
Gotcha.
The red and black cards. Everybody's going to vote whether or not the mission happens. If the mission does in fact happen, then just the people that are in the mission secretly vote on who wins. So the spy has to get 3 losses, has to have it lose, the mission lose 3 times. The rebels have to have it succeed 3 times.
Okay.
Going.
Clear as mud.
The
So
3
it
is very
stays-
important because I totally blew that off last
So
time.
everybody take a red and a
That
black.
was awful. So.
Well,
And the joker stays wherever it is that.
yeah, and we're gonna
the whole
shuffle
game.
these up, and we're gonna.
So whoever's
So
the
all of those
spy
cards that I
stays
was
the
stuffing
spy.
in my
So look at which
Pants
one you have, an ace
are-
or a joker, and then hide it because you never want to look at this damn thing again. Just remember what you are. Remember, the joker is the spy, the ace is the rebel. The spy is basically playing his own game.
Tell me again, red versus black.
Red is going to be yes, black is going to be no.
Red is yes. Okay.
So don't you can't let anybody see what you're voting for.
Okay.
If you're a rebel, you always have to vote yes during a mission. If you're on a mission and you're voting as to whether or not it succeeds, you always have to vote yes. The spy is the only one that gets to choose whether or not they vote no.
No, correct.
If there's a single no, it fails.
It fails.
Okay.
And, yep, and you need 3 fails.
3 fails to win as a
rebel
spy.
spy needs 3 fails. Rebels need 3 wins.
This is a lot easier than I'm making it seem. I promise you that.
Sledger. Let's do it like right now, for
Okay,
example.
pick 3 people.
I'm going to choose 3 people for this mission. I'm going to choose Rich. Because I need his explosive expertise.
Fucking shit.
He's French.
He's a French pyrotechnic. Excellent. And then I'm going to...
Have you noticed pyrotechnics in movies a lot of time are French?
Yeah, it's true.
Well,
They
that's
just
why
have
they made fun of
accents.
that in
That's
The
South Park.
Incredibles.
Did it make fun
Yeah,
of
Bon
that's
voyage.
true, yeah.
Bon voyage.
I am also going to choose Andy because I need his amazing social skills to pull this off.
As you can tell, in great order.
Are you
Everybody
going on the
follows
mission
me.
as well, sir?
I also am going on this mission.
Okay. I'm going to vote yes. The mission happens.
I as well vote yes, this mission happens.
You vote yes?
Yes.
Okay, and then there's 3 yeses, so it doesn't matter. So now you 3 vote yes or no. If you are rebel, you have to vote yes. but you're going to do it secretly. Put it in the middle. If you're a spy, you can vote no. If you vote no, if there's a single no in here, the mission will fail.
Okay, now wait.
Red is yes, black is no.
Red is yes, black is no.
Are you making sure you put
All
the
right,
right one in?
where's the pile? Where's the pile again?
This one.
Right here. Just put it right here, and I'll shuffle it up so it doesn't
shuffle it
matter.
up so we don't.
All right. Don't look. All right, here we go. Ooh, interesting. Yes. Yes. No. Spy amongst you.
Who is it?
Well, I know the spy can't be me. It can't possibly be me.
That's just what a spy would say.
That is what a spy would say. Also, give me all of your yes/no cards.
Yep,
Straight out
we're
the
gonna
gate.
reshuffle.
Yep, we give you. You get new yes/no cards.
But now you're looking at which ones were which.
No, I'm
So he knows
no,
already.
red. Okay.
He's cheating.
Black, red. I'm just dumb. Okay.
You could totally cheat if you wanted to, but you.
Well, put your here's
the idea is not to cheat.
guys. Here's. Oh, here we go. Ah,
There we go.
That's a noodle label
Smart.
maker.
All right, no. So put your yes nos in the correct pile or whatever.
So then we would be indicating which one we should have a discard pile.
Give him he's smart. Give him a discard pile. We'll keep some of this stuff, and then we'll let those build up, and then we'll shuffle them and come put them back in if we need to.
Okay.
Because his point is that if he takes this and goes, oh, that's a yes, then we know he was.
Oh, give me your card. And we'll just
This
do
guy.
it.
That's not that card.
All right, we got to restart over because I saw his fucking
That's
card.
not that card. That's a different Joker.
Why do you have another Joker?
I don't know. This is the cards that
All
are
right.
sitting
Well,
in front of me.
this has been an interesting exercise. Tell you what, let's pause for a moment and let's talk about our first question.
First news topic.
Here we go.
You know how last week I talked about how Hulu didn't pick up Community?
Yeah.
Yahoo picked up Community.
Yahoo is picking up original content.
Yes, they're going to start this new thing called Yahoo Screen, which I've never fucking heard of. And they're going to do they're going to do a 13-episode season 6 for Community.
What?
There has been no announcement as to what the budget will be or as to exactly when it's going to come out. They're saying fall, as early as fall.
Wow.
But,
Where's the Dave Matthews Band? Where is it? It should be any news of this caliber needs Dave Matthews Band.
well, they did have the clip of the series, the season finale of the season 5 where they do play Dave Matthews.
Right, but I mean, it should be playing now, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all I'm making.
Maybe it is.
But
my
yeah, it's what do you think about Yahoo trying to get in on the?
That is where I'm at. It's like now who's next
Everybody.
in original content creation?
I agree with Rich. Everybody.
Everybody. It's got to be. I mean, everybody's got to jump into that.
I'm
pool now
waiting
if they
for the
wanna compete at
Facebook
all.
series, the Facebook
Right?
TV
Yeah.
series.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is how
Well, they're
cable
making
got
games.
started. You got to think about that. When cable first came out, it was not much of a departure from the 4 channels. Mm-hmm. And then when everybody tried, like for instance, like what we got, like if you look at the big, like with the pay channels, like you got HBO, Showtime, Cinemax.
Yep.
Well, had to start with one.
Yep.
And then when there's one, there's always more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it really only started with HBO and MTV. I mean, that's what made it popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
One's got to
cable.
get there, and then everybody jumps on the
Totally true.
bandwagon.
And I'm
So-
on that.
Yeah, that's
The thing I think is interesting about this is trends come and go, especially in the internet age, right? But one thing that's always the same is having a website is important. Like that's being proved right now, and it's being fought over right now. Who's got the most important stuff? We're adding more stuff so that you still have to come to us. We're still relevant. It's becoming this everybody's all things sort of category.
I mean,
Well, Yahoo's been that way the whole time.
yeah. Well, but you of the 4 of us, you're probably the only one who still has a Yahoo email account that you use pretty consistently.
Okay.
I have
Laser awesome 69XXX laser.
I have my Google. I still have my Google account and my Hotmail account.
You have a Hotmail account?
I don't actually have a Hotmail
I thought they
account.
closed it.
No,
They said they were going to close it. They never did.
Yeah. Well, you could type in blah 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 at Outlook.com.
Why do I
if
feel
wanted
like you
to,
have
know?
an AIM name
I
still?
quite honestly, I probably do. If I looked it up, it would probably
AIM
pop up.
I think AIM actually got absorbed more or less by Yahoo.
Did
That was
they?
one of their- yeah.
Well, now, yeah, actually, well, they both got absorbed by Live
Yeah.
because you can use Live to talk to Yahoo or AIM now. So
Microsoft bitches.
Man.
But no, I mean, yeah, that's. I'm sure there are still people out there that are using their MySpace accounts for porn or whatever the fuck you do now.
No,
MySpace.
it's supposed to be, Justin Timberlake
I
has
just blew
made it
your
into...
fucking mind, didn't I?
Yeah. Justin Timberlake bought MySpace
Yeah.
in order to use it for music videos and actually supposed to be movies.
Actually, it
it
is a
never really
really
worked.
cool site these days that nobody goes to anymore. No, it is. It is because it was transferred into just music. If you want to go just look up a band and like know everything about them, you go to MySpace now and you can MySpace whatever they are, and it's just everything all their music videos, all their backlog music.
I actually have the app for MySpace on my phone. So
Oh!
Wow.
It's the
it's
one,
changed. It's changed a lot.
it's the one site like that changed dramatically, but never was killed.
right,
Was
right.
never actually murdered.
It just
like
that-
Dig.
I don't even know what the fuck.
Well,
that
what?
is.
Dig, D-I-G-G, wasn't it?
What is that? even?
Dig.com. It was Reddit before Reddit.
I don't.
It was,
oh,
yeah, it was
okay.
basically you
Reddit
voted.
before Reddit.
You voted on news feeds, and then they would make it to the front page. And blah, blah, blah. But I mean, MySpace was big until Fox bought it.
Yeah.
And then they got a big contract with Google, which was part of the reason why Fox bought it. So they had $1.2 billion in what in Google
my
Cash.
God. Oh my God!
Fox went through it, just
Dogecoin.
rode that thing into the ground, and then sold it off.
And the back end is all streaming from Amazon,
For
motherfuckers.
fucking pennies to Justin Timberlake in that group. They got it for nothing.
Yeah, I
You've
mean,
seen-
the servers alone would have been.
Yeah,
I mean, the distributed
Have you
network
seen
and stuff.
Tom's Facebook page?
I have no idea.
Tom has a Facebook
Oh,
page?
fuck yeah. He actually he sold off, he got a lot of money. And
Oh yeah, 1.2 billion.
Yeah, and he
Well,
used
fuck
that money to travel the world.
Yeah.
And he was sitting there, he would take pictures and stuff like that, and he talked about that, he's got his own
And now he's broke.
such irony. No, he's
He
actually
spent $2 billion traveling the world.
he's got the cool he's got
Never
to
touching the ground.
he's got to be the coolest like I don't know what
The
the
world is hot lava.
Keep going. We're listening. We're
it's just-
commenting as you
well,
go.
no, it's just it surprises me actually because he's like just going off of when you go to his page, he's just a lot cooler than you would think.
He was like when he was with MySpace.
Yeah.
Better than the geeks doing.
You
what was it?
kind of would
Like,
think this.
What do you think it's like to be the most famous person on the planet for like 2 years? and then you're just still alive for another 60.
See, and that's the point, is that I assumed that with like Tom would be this guy like in a hole somewhere going, I was famous once, I made MySpace. And it's like he doesn't care. He's like,
Sitting,
man, it happens.
sitting right next to Saddam.
much better than turning into John McAfee.
Yes, exactly. Turned
But
into
if you were the most famous person on earth for 2 years and you're sitting at this moment on a big ass pile of fucking money,
Yeah,
I
you don't
mean,
care.
At that point, you don't care.
And
Because
honestly,
you're-
at that
because
amount of money,
you're buying like 8-year-old boys in Taiwan at that point. You're just like, whatever, you have some money.
whoa, I think we just learned something about China. Can we back up? Holy
hell.
shit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna write this down. real quick.
Holy shit. Dear NSA, I know you're listening.
And now I have some
Leave my wife out of this.
We had people over last night, as I generally do on Tuesdays, but we had people over last night, and I was pissed off about the Facebook thing, right? And I'm like, you know what? But you want to talk about it? Do you not know this? I'll talk about it here in a second. But I was pissed off about the Facebook thing, and because I turned into full reporter and went deep down that rabbit hole.
Oh, shit.
And that's why I wasn't going to talk about it, because it's not funny.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, but I was pissed
We'll play.
off, and I'm like, "Hey NSA, I have a computer, at Microsoft, an Xbox, a TV. I have a tablet on right now. Somebody can hear me. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Terrorist, shooting bomb.
Yeah.
Was it an Xbox 360 or an Xbox
360.
One?
360.
Questionable. A little questionable.
You can get the one without the connection.
How new is your firmware?
No.
You're like, what? Where? What?
No, the Facebook got in trouble because there was a blackout that happened to certain people last week on Facebook. You just couldn't log into Facebook for like half an hour. And it just, nothing happened. And people were wondering why it happened, and they came out like, well, we fucked up. We have been experimenting on 600,000 of our users in the United States to see if social media can manipulate people's emotions. What they were doing is they would purposefully go through, and they had algorithms to look for negative statuses and negative comments and controversial things on people's walls that are friends of yours, and they would purposefully post it in your news feed in sequential order to see if it affected your status updates and stuff like that, to see if it actually could affect your emotional state.
Wow. Yes.
The scary part, actually that part, up to that part, I'm like, okay, this is like a deeper marketing ploy. This is where it gets scary. One of the main backers of it is actually the Department of Defense.
Sure.
So this is life now, people.
Yeah.
Last year, no,
everything that reads DOE
2 years
DOD.
ago, 2 years ago, the United States government and DOD actually got in trouble for trying to take down the government of Cuba via Twitter. Legitimately, this is the thing that happened. Mm-hmm. They're experimenting with psychological warfare via social media.
Yep.
Well, they started that with Egypt, didn't
Here's the scary part. The Facebook thing, they didn't ask anybody. They asked the United States government, they got the money backing to do it, and then they didn't go through any ethics board. The Cornell Ethics Board of International Business, they just ignored it. Mm-hmm. And they just did it. Experimented, live human experimentation on over 600,000 people.
Yep.
Okay, so
I'm more shocked that you're shocked about this.
yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not shocked about it. It's just the complete removal of ethics in the situation is what's not okay.
When was there
Of course
ethics?
it's not okay, but that's the thing. That's why it's not terribly shocking. I mean, we've heard stories since the 50s, the government doing crazy ass shit with without talking, and some of it, yes, probably very very much conspiratorial.
No, look up the Family Jewels.
Yeah,
That will tell you absolutely
There you go.
everything.
There you go.
CIA's Family Jewels. Find it. Look it up in Google, and you'll be on every list you'll ever want to be on.
Gene Simmons show. Not that.
Yeah, avoid that one, or go to that one if you prefer.
According to
Probably
the
more
film "The
preferable.
Hills Have Eyes," the remake, mind you.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, no, keep going. I want to know where this is heading.
Bing off on the tangent. Oh, sorry.
Please.
Anyways, no, the nuclear experiments that happened in the desert caused mutations to people that then moved out into the desert and craved human flesh. Something like that. I don't know. I didn't watch the movie, so I don't.
No, the actual use.
Yeah. No, I'm not surprised. I'm just this has been a rough week. I'm a reporter at heart. That's what I used to do as a career. So this is just a shitty week for me in the situation of corporations killing people.
I understand.
I don't know.
What about bias? You gotta go.
Well, Hobby
about
Lobby
bias.
Act also was this week, and it's just not a great week.
I don't know if this kind of ranks up there with killing people, but
It's between this.
one step away.
No, it's
First, they're gonna change your mood.
Then slippery slope, my friend.
Slippery slope. Sex with animals is next.
All right. Apparently, I'm wrong. Fuck me for worrying.
There's that. Have you seen that? There's on
Have you
Netflix.
seen our show, Mike? I'm just curious.
Look, if you would like to read, apparently these guys have all read the book 1984 and just were fine with everything inside of it. But all right, so let's move on. Let's move on. 4D theater. Do you guys want to know what 4D theater is?
4D.
Smells.
Yes.
Dude, I'm still trying to wrap
Actually-
my head around 3 of them.
The Korean company CJ4D Plex. That's the name of the company. CJ4D Plex is opening the first United States 4D theater. In Los Angeles. What it's going to be is it's going to have moving chairs.
What?
It's going to have
Live vomit.
It's going to have mist effects, wind, rain, strobe lights, scents, and bubbles. Basically, what it does
Bubbles.
is it's
I
a
love the
complete
bubbles.
immersion. And the crazy part is the chair movement. It's not just like front and forward. It's individual little sensors in it. If like a person on the thing gets touched on the hand, it'll move a thing in your on the palm in the armrest.
All right, sounds
So
like
this
the
is the
ultimate
Tingler
playlist.
of 2014.
Well, no, you take your date to a scary movie, and she'll be on your lap.
No.
You know,
Or
he.
porn. Just do. I mean, come on.
That's what I think. How is this not a porn theater? The first one.
I mean, that makes total sense.
I would bring a vacuum cleaner with me. Here it goes.
Jesus Christ.
Man. And my comment was bad.
Oh.
All right. All right. So the Joker is hide it. Whoever's the Joker, just hide all your cards.
Yep.
I've already been hiding my card. My point
No,
was...
put that one away. Whatever that one is, memorize and put it away so it doesn't get mixed up with the other stuff.
What are you talking about?
Well, no. So that if the other Joker comes out, then we know it's just a yes or a no.
All I'm saying is, the card that you gave me that was a Joker was a black card. That's all it was.
No, I know, but there was no distinguishing because you had both an ace and a black card.
Right.
I think we're trying way too hard here.
Put that card away.
All right, so this is no, and this, in theory, there is a
Joker in there.
and so we pull the
Because
Joker
I was
from there.
persecuted when it was out.
There is no Joker in here.
Persecuted. I think you're
pretty
using
extreme.
that word pretty liberally right now.
Says the guy
And that means there's a Joker in here, right?
one
Or am
Facebook
I-
is one step away from murder.
Okay, there are no Jokers
no
in here.
Jokers in
So
Okay, now it's turning
Okay,
into
draw a yes and a no. Just draw a yes and a no.
Okay, that's my... Red is yes, right?
Red is
you,
yes,
you
no,
could
black.
you could take one at a time and look at it.
Just take.
I have a card!
That is what you are, a rebel or a spy.
That is not me!
No, we were starting over.
Well, you didn't... Oh! Look,
Exactly.
I was hiding my card.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, that one goes in the box. Whatever that is goes in the fucking box. It's over. Jesus Christ. This is whether you're a rebel or spy now. Hide that.
damn it!
You are no longer a rebel.
Jesus.
Welcome to Distracted Gaming, folks.
All right. Wow, this is the
Highly
early days of distracted gaming right here.
It is. This
Me
is like-
screaming at Dorothy about rules. Try a yes and a no.
God,
Oh man, I
damn it.
No, I got to yes a minute.
Okay. You go. Since we did
I
it.
was next,
We did a
okay.
practice round. We sort of know what's going on. That first one didn't count. We're just
Yeah.
going to mix it from the whole thing.
There you go.
And I was having
right.
so much fun.
We're gonna go on a raid.
Yes.
Yay! You guys are expendable. I have to stay.
Go suck my cock.
Oh. I
Okay,
see.
so we're all going and you're staying.
Yep.
I like that plan.
That's a good plan.
That's a good plan. I'm going to go say yes to this whole thing.
I agree. Well, we shall go on this raid.
Wait, I thought we couldn't, like, vocalize it.
No, the first vote
this
is
is-
yes. It's for everybody.
Oh.
Yes or no.
Let's go on a raid!
Okay, so we're in. Okay, so now the three of us vote yes or no.
Yes.
Was the raid successful?
Okay, mix them up.
Pick 'em up,
Nobody
mix
look.
'em up.
Nobody look. Don't look, camera. Don't look, camera.
Those
I'm watching
photons
you,
are no
watching
longer
you.
striking.
Look at you, internet.
The
I'm gonna start
CCD
the next one. Okay.
Okay.
Stars has picked up the rights to make
I was gonna fucking bring that up! That's so awesome! Oh! Okay, sorry.
peaked the audio.
I would like to know what they picked up. 'cause that was-
American Gods. The rights to do the American Gods TV
That'd be
show.
interesting.
No, actually, this is a
Only
problem.
diamond.
This is a problem.
Okay.
Here's. I'm going to give you.
I mean, they can cuss. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, here
make
I'm going to give you
nudity.
the facts.
They're
and
gonna
then
have
go
to do
into the
nudity.
One
problem.
moment, Mike. Why don't, for the people at home, why don't you tell them what American Gods is?
American Gods is a novel that came out in 2001, written by Neil Gaiman, and I think it was co-written with somebody else, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
I don't think
It
so.
was straight up Neil.
But it's basically about the old pantheon of gods, all the ones you would think of, the Poseidons, the gods, blah, blah, blah. And against a new version that is
American Gods.
Yeah, the American Gods, effectively. That's like
The
social
mixing.
media.
The mixing of
it's,
everything.
God, what's some of the other ones? I haven't read the book in like 4 years or something like that.
Well, there's some Native American stuff, some social media stuff.
Yeah, but
it
it
was
was all
like
old-
also the children. So it was like the split from the old world one. So it was like the carry on of the old world with the mixing of the new.
Basically, new gods were invented because of the things we currently worship, technology, stuff like that. And it's the old, and because they're gaining power, the old gods are losing power dramatically. It was sort of a us versus them situation. It's from the point of view of like a human intern of one of the old gods, but he doesn't know he's one of the old gods. He's doing like a cross country. Yeah.
No.
Huh? Yeah.
I think we get the gist of
Yeah.
it.
Whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't want to spoil it for you, so I can't say.
That's what the series effectively is about. The old gods versus the new gods. And Starz has picked it up. And they've brought on Brian Fuller from the current show Hannibal. He is the executive producer of that. And Michael Green, who executive produced Heroes.
Oh.
And they're going to co-show run and executive produce.
Ooh, I hope
Along with Neil Gaiman, actually. He's going to be given executive producer credit.
just what I was going to say.
Is he given a sword? Is he given a sword? That's all I want to know.
He's going to be given as little power as possible, I'm assuming.
But he will still have a sword. You don't have to have power to have a sword.
We're talking about Neil Gaiman here. This is a guy that knows how to negotiate. So
Just put Neil Gaiman on a throne, right? With a big-ass sword and a crown.
like, I'm just imagining these people walking into his house, trying to pitch this deal, and it's like it's this giant castle, and it's got like a moat.
Here's the thing. He already had this deal with HBO for 3 years. They went through multiple writers, multiple showrunners, and it just never took off. Because HBO, one of the VPs of HBO came out and said, we just didn't think it could be done. HBO said that.
And let's remember that
And
HBO said that. I mean,
They got more money than Starz do. Let's be honest right now.
I know. I mean, and that's a big deal for HBO to say that. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, if they can do Game of Thrones and feel comfortable about it.
I think that's why they're not doing it, is because they are focusing so much on Game of Thrones.
But they have other shows.
Yeah, they have other shows, but see, okay.
Well, all the life support
Gods,
equipment for Martin probably costs a lot of money.
Yeah, it does. The thing of it is, what I'm saying is that I think American Gods, like you have like they have their other shows, but then they have Game of Thrones, right? And that's that's like the big guy in the house, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that
It's also the most expensive one to produce.
right,
by far.
Right, yeah.
And they actually, I read in an article too. They're talking about how Game of Thrones is like it's the only show on cable that is not susceptible to product placement.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to that.
Can't really put Pepsi in that.
It's like some dude in the background eating Doritos.
Yeah, they had the picture.
How to Train Your Dragon was totally featured in that.
Although I can totally see Peter Dinklage doing it. And then when somebody's like, what are those? You shut up! And he just smacks them.
No, he'd do it with some kind of like Slim Jim or some shit.
They're sitting there just hanging around like this. No, anyway, so I think my thing is I think American Gods is going to be one of those shows that's the big guy. And when you're bringing it in on HBO, I think that they realized, that in their minds anyway, that they were going to have to focus a lot of attention on American Gods, and that it might take too much away from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
What other?
I don't know.
I was just going to say, they would have been in pre-production for Game of Thrones, I guess, timeline-wise, 3 years ago.
Yeah, I would think so. I'm curious, what are the other big Showtime shows? You had Dexter.
Fucking nothing. They're Stars.
Homeland,
We're
wasn't
on
that?
Stars.
Oh, we're on Stars.
Stars.
Oh shit, I'm sorry. You totally yeah.
Like,
Which they focused on digital
I have
distribution
no
for
idea
a
what
long
the
time.
fuck Stars does.
Stars started as
I know they do secondary movies on like
they were like
Cinemax
HBO
type
Light is
level.
what they used to be.
Didn't
Right.
Stars do that Gladiator one with all the was
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did Spartacus.
Yeah,
No, that's
Blood
still
and Sand.
Showtime. That's still Showtime.
See, I get that shit mixed up. Like
No, it's
Then what the fuck does Stars
no,
do?
it was on Stars.
let's
I
ask
think,
the internet.
Well, yeah,
first, and then it moved over because it just moved over.
Stars focused on digital distribution. They were the ones that actually inked the first deal with Netflix to do their streaming video. And as soon as Stars lost, as soon as
Stars original
pulled their rights from Netflix, or it expired, and they decided not to renew because Netflix wouldn't pony up.
Stars did do Spartacus.
Ah, darn.
Okay.
As he's explaining to me why they're not of it.
Right at the knees.
Oh, speaking of Netflix, they're taking all the Rocky movies off.
Actually, I think
Really?
Watch them now if you.
Okay.
add to you, I think if I remember correctly, I was just heard on the Dead Lantern podcast where they talked about they actually just transferred Blood and Sand over to Stars from Showtime, and which they were
Do they have the same parent company?
not sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't know about that either.
Yeah. Shit, we are an ill-informed fucking group,
Wow,
and that's
we
my
are.
fault.
Apparently they have original series called Survivor's Remorse. That's probably one of those.
Sounds like a real uplifting
Yeah,
shit.
some dramedy or some crazy shit like that. I don't even know.
Look, it's not HBO. If anybody, if you watch HBO, you should have been watching Silicon Valley, which just wrapped their first season. That show's insane.
I've seen. I'm slowly working through it. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't
Their
think it's
season
great.
finale, they do a 7-minute math interpreted dick joke. That is the best goddamn thing I have ever fucking seen.
I'm surprised I haven't heard that from work. We talk about those things. I did watch Halt and Catch Fire on AMC, and I really enjoyed the first one.
I've heard that.
Yes,
I've heard that's pretty awesome.
Basically, when they came out with the first clones, how this one particular company stole the BIOS from IBM.
Yeah.
I'm still curious if it's semi. I don't even know. It's a semi-true story. But it's
basically that.
Yeah.
It's.
We just don't know who that company actually was or whatever.
Yeah, because it's not.
Anyway, nobody's actually
or whatever.
Nobody's aware of it except us. So
Hey, do this right
now. The first episode was really awesome. I truly enjoyed it, but I don't have cable, so I don't get to watch those things.
Do that.
Yeah, I found a key. Ah!
Spartacus seems to be the only thing that I've heard of.
We say yes!
Whoa, yes!
We say
You made
yes!
a noise, I don't think we did it.
And we got
Alright, we'll discard pile. Everybody just wait. You gotta flip them over. And then we can do a discard pile.
Keep one show that we failed one.
Yeah.
And then we discard everything else.
Discard over here. Yes.
Do not show.
Do not show.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Everybody draw a yes and a no.
Suck about cook.
There we go.
Alright. Why do you have 2 cards?
I have left over. I hid the one from before, and I just forgot that I hid it.
Okay.
So now I got.
How do we have extra cards for that?
I don't know how that happened.
All right. It's my turn. I'm going. Well, what do these do as a spy? So, obviously.
Could I be the spy? I don't think so.
Myself.
So innocent. How could I be a spy?
That's just what a spy would say.
The spy is one of the 3 of us. Like, based on what we previously did. And I know it's not me, so it's one of these 2.
Well, I know it's not me. So
Fuck, I know it's not me.
So I know you're a rebel. I know you're a rebel.
We know you're not a spy.
You know, with a slight tweaking, we could call this the Thing game.
And I'm just gonna go with Chad. Chad, I'm gonna go with you.
Okay.
Yes. You're in the mission.
I will be in this mission.
Okay.
Okay.
You're making a mistake!
So I'm going to shout up to the ship as it leaves me on the fucking surface.
So you're saying it's us 3? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, 3 of us on a mission.
Okay,
3 of us on a mission.
Right.
So I'm going to say yes to that.
I'll say yes to it. I'm excited to see.
Well, we got to find out something, so we got to say yes, I suppose.
Okay.
Right?
So
what happens when you say no?
That's a spy. Only the spy says no.
Only the spy says no? All right.
Everybody don't look! Okay. American Gods TV show, you're going to watch it? Are you going to try to watch it? I'd be interested in it. I'd be interested in it. Anything with Neil Gaiman's name attached, I generally give a shit.
I will try it.
Did you kickstart his sword movie? That's why I said he should have a sword.
Sword movie?
Sword game. Sword game. He was actually trying to make a sword game that physically followed the sword.
Actually, interesting enough, I'm talking about another video game he's attached with, like, later on.
Really? I will say I will watch the pilot to see what it is. I'm going to, just based on who's doing it, I'm sorry, Stars, I think it's going to blow. I don't think they're going to be.
I don't think they have enough money.
Yeah,
that was my initial thought.
If it takes 3 years for HBO to vet it to the point where they couldn't do it, then I don't think Stars can take it further.
Yeah, you have to realize this is HBO's poop.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, that's a weird way to put it, but yes, I totally see where you're going from. Absolutely.
It scared the shit out of me when an HBO exec says it can't be done. That means no.
And that does bring a point, because it's like basically HBO has been able to. They say, they're like very rogue as far as like the rest of the networks have always gone. At least they were the pioneers in a lot of ways. Right. To these kind of programming.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they've proven they're fine with throwing money at it.
Yep.
Right, but the one thing that they only need one hit and like 4 mediocres in order to have cable subscribers running to their doors.
Yeah.
And so they don't need 2 hits. They don't. So maybe it does have a chance somewhere else, whereas it wouldn't there because they're focusing on
And that's
Game
kind of
of
the point that was the counterpoint to what I was making earlier,
Yeah.
which is that Game of Thrones is obviously their big deal. I mean, Game of Thrones has already surpassed The Sopranos now as the most watched
pretty crazy.
TV on, you know, and so the idea of having that second hit, that's like a lot, because that's a lot of energy to expend to get it up on the ground, off the
But
ground.
that still doesn't account for. I mean, Stars still has to have the resources to pull it off, and I don't think they do.
Oh, and then
So
that,
that's what-
I feel like an absolute hipster piece of shit asshole for not caring about Game of Thrones. Like, I'm not into it.
Yeah, no, I don't. And
And it's totally my wheelhouse too, like sword and sorcery
Right? I
and
mean,
stuff like that. But there's just something about it. I'm just like, no.
See, I read the books first, and like what I
I'll
love
probably
about,
watch it when it's online. Or
Right.
what I
Exactly,
love about
that's
the
great.
show and or the books was the concept. Huh?
I was looking at your shirt.
Oh,
Thrones, Game of
Yeah.
Thrones.
yeah.
How much was the product placement?
Well, you see,
Shut up, Andy!
oh.
yeah. No,
Would you like to be paid for this evening? Because you're not.
not anymore.
You notice it's plain. I did not.
What I liked
figure out
about the
thing
game,
first.
the show, and stuff is the concept. I mean, this is very much like history in the sense that when you read history, you realize it's not a fairy tale. There's no guarantee who's going to live at the end.
Well, Game of
Right.
Thrones. Game of Thrones seems like a fairy tale to me, but it's more Grimm's fairy tales than.
it's like
Oh, it's
embrace the darkness, people. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
All right,
Absolutely.
all right. Nick, do you want to do that right quick?
yep.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, this mission that I was left out of,
I'm sorry.
and I guarantee I'm not a spy.
Jesus, adamant. Maybe
We have
it
a
is
yes.
spy. No.
We have a yes.
Oh!
He needs a mustache because he's evil.
I'm actually not.
All right, now we know who the rebels are. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know. Here's what we're gonna do. Whose turn
It's
is it to do
you.
the?
It's you, isn't it?
No,
It's still.
Why would you, dude?
because that's bad. That's bad. All right, where's the?
That's the
red
card,
card?
isn't
No, we
it?
gotta put the black card over.
That's the
there.
discards.
Ooh.
So we've got one yes
Yeah.
and one no, right? Or wait, no.
No,
No, we had 2 no's.
2 no's.
Oh, wait,
Okay,
here,
there we go.
here, that's that
Put that
no.
on.
Here's that
Okay.
no.
Why does that matter? It's just
Because we're gonna draw on.
Well, because
something
we're gonna
we
draw
remember.
those, and somebody's
I
gonna
could
get
use
that.
my super memory and.
These are the yeses. Or these
All
are
right,
reds.
discard, doesn't matter.
I was going to play 21.
All right, yes. Okay, next topic. Niet on House of Cards. What? House of Cards was trying to, they were asking the
Also
Russian
called West Wing for dumb people.
the Russian embassy to shoot a couple episodes
Oh no! Shit.
as a backdrop in their UN-based office. And it was a yes for a long time. And then an hour before deadline, they say no. 1 hour.
Bitches. Bitches. That's happened.
From
That
before,
sucks.
but
And
before
for it to happen for a show like that.
before call time or before the deadline.
Deadline for the
con.
contract. Deadline for contract. They would be contractually obligated to. They would have to.
Oh,
This
okay.
is
So
shoot-
they had like a
Okay, well,
clause
that's
in
a
there.
little
That's
bit
not
better,
as bad
right?
as
Yeah,
an
yeah.
hour before.
Yeah, it was an hour before the shoot. It was an
Have
hour.
arrived at places.
Yeah, we're shooting Putin.
Been
kicks
told
the
that
door
we're
in.
going to be able to do it.
Yes.
Have
No,
arrived. and then
the
been
reasoning they gave, and this is from a spokesperson of the ambassador's office, is that it's not appropriate for filming in ambassador's establishment like that. A Russian government does not believe that it's appropriate for filming.
Okay. but
I believe
that's
that they
a fun
perhaps. Does anybody watch House of Cards?
No.
I've actually just started kind of working my way through
The
the first
concept,
season.
the concept of the. You don't watch it and yet you shit on it just a second ago. Fair enough. Just why not?
He read it on the interwebs.
That's what he
my
watches.
favorite blogger said it was bad, so fuck you.
No, and man, I've tried watching it. It makes me sad to not like something Kevin Spacey's in.
I can agree with that. what I think is, since it was so close, perhaps they got a look at what they were going to shoot, and just knowing that show a little bit, they like to really go to the controversial. Perhaps it was something that wasn't exactly friendly to the Russian government. I believe that was... And they're not afraid to say no to the United States.
Yeah.
Hence,
it's all good.
A long time in history.
They're not afraid to say no to just about anybody.
If anybody's unaware, we're currently in another Cold War pseudo with them.
Sort of.
Edge.
They're not talking to each other.
We're not friends as much as we used to be.
Right.
Bill was great. They played golf.
Kind of like, I don't know, Sonny and Cher before they got the divorce. That's kind of what it feels like right now.
Yeah,
Something like that, you know.
We're still buddies.
Mike and Tina.
We just don't talk
before
as
the
much
divorce.
as we used to.
You know?
No, it just feels like something like that. Would you agree with, like, what do you think the reasoning behind something like this is? Do you think, because I think like it's not appropriate for filming. If it comes down an hour before, that sounds like bullshit.
Exactly. That's an excuse you're totally right. That's an excuse you use when you find out, or at least you perceive that it's not going to be what you thought it was going to be.
Oh, did everybody draw their yeses or no's?
No.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. What would you...
Maybe. But maybe they realized that they couldn't get Snowden there in order to get him transferred back to the U.S.
Some weird CIA ploy.
A backwards Argo or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Honestly, I think if they did get Snowden back, if anybody in the United States found out about it, he would never be prosecuted. That dude.
Oh no! In a second, he'd be prosecuted. There's no doubt.
Oh, I don't
Opinion
think
could
so.
not save that guy at this point.
No, it couldn't. It doesn't matter how justified what he did is. Public opinion's not going to change it.
Yeah, no. Because
The government wants him.
Oh yeah, he's pissed off.
what he did qualifies as treason. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's
It was still the right thing to do. It was still the right thing to do.
I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
But that don't matter.
Yeah.
This is you know. I'm
Is
just
he
saying.
still in that fucking airport?
No. He was granted temporary Russian asylum. He
He's
has
still getting those little bags of Triscuits.
Him and Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, somebody passes him some pretzels or some fucking almonds.
You got it.
I love that show, actually.
That was a way better movie than it deserved to be.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Anyway,
When you can act with a volleyball, I'm pretty sure that you can go to a
You can
plane
pretend,
terminal.
yeah.
And do it.
I have a
Exactly.
friend of mine who will remain unnamed, but said that he was on a skiing trip and saw Tom. Him and his friends spent a bunch of money. It was like Vail or something like that. They spent a shitload of money on getting a cabin, and apparently he was in the next cabin over.
Okay.
And they caught him in the backyard trying to uproot snow and cut grass so that it was all the same level. But like, he might be the craziest person I have ever seen.
I would not shock me to find out that man has like hardcore OCD. That would not surprise me.
And you know, but I think it could have also been him playing a joke on everybody watching him do this.
Yeah, he found out everybody was like paying. They found out that
That
Tom
could
Hanks
very
was
well
next
be
door.
true.
Yeah,
That's his justice.
You
I've
just
seen
don't
him.
know.
definitely do
This
this
Tom
on
Hanks,
camera.
you don't know.
yeah. You know what made me happy? You know what made me happy?
He's almost as good an actor as Bryan Cranston. It's close. Bryan
if they
Cranston's
have-
still a better actor.
What if
but
we
it's close.
put them in the
You know,
same?
you know what made me happy?
What?
That Tom Cruise's new movie's good. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean,
It was
I'm
a
sure
fun
it did.
movie.
I haven't watched
you seen it?
No, but we had a discussion. You don't watch the show, so
Nobody watched
nobody
it.
watches the show. But we've had a discussion about whether or not Tom Cruise has lost his star power because that movie, movie by everybody's opinion was awesome, but nobody was going to see it those first couple of weekends.
Yeah.
So
It did, however, and this is the first time I've seen this that I can remember. Maybe you guys will know of another situation, but week 3 was its biggest week. It hit word of mouth status,
that's
and
what it
everybody caught on.
that's what had to happen
Yeah.
with that one. Yeah, the marketing just didn't do the job.
It's all
one of
legs.
10 minutes.
It's also one of the few instances where the rewrite from the original worked better than the original. In the case of for us,
Yeah, it was originally a manga.
Yep.
Which is true. You always need some sort of translation.
But I
from-
mean,
from
what
those,
I
but-
mean is, it was originally
Let me-
rewritten here. It was already rewritten, and
okay.
and I can't remember the guy's name who who wrote it for the American theaters. And then when his script got picked up, they started rewriting his script.
Right.
And
Well,
they
that's
ended
what
up,
they do, yeah.
what they ended up doing is changing the script so much that he didn't get any credit.
Yep.
Because
Wow, that is a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
And so
happens
this
more
is-
than we realize.
But this is the,
Yeah, it's true. It's impossible to
That's
tell.
what I was saying, is that this is actually one of the few cases where the rewrite of the rewrite actually
Worked.
it worked.
I bet he still got paid and he still got invited to the red carpet.
I think he got
still
paid
got
for his
paid.
script, but that's it. He didn't get paid for
You disagree with the red
That's-
carpet?
It's a
Tommy?
screenwriter.
No, I was just saying I hope so. But
All right,
Who knows?
real quick, this one. Wait, who's up? You got to vote on.
You're up.
All right.
Oh, that sucks. We're gonna fucking fail.
3 of us?
No.
I got to be in
Yeah.
the mission, right?
you can choose who you want to be
Yeah,
in the
just
mission. So you
no,
can
yeah,
choose
yeah.
you.
Okay, so
You,
that face for?
and me.
Okay. Oh, we think Andy. That's interesting.
I would
guess
have done
can-
something totally different, but that's cool.
I think it's got to either be one of you two. So
But he. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm gonna help you with the logic, but he wasn't in the first one.
There's logic and boobs in the
I
all.
think at this point, he's you are me the last time we played this game.
No, but he wasn't in the first one. I'm gonna say no, just because he wasn't in the first one, and the first one failed. There's only one spot.
well, then you,
And you.
and me. Let's do
That
it.
I'll vote for.
All right, let's do it.
Over. All right.
I mean, sure.
Why not?
Okay.
Let's do it. All right.
Let's do this.
Let's go. Does the mission fail or whatever?
What will I do?
Red or yellow?
No, does it?
Red is yes.
Red is yes.
Okay.
But the lovely thing about this is that do you always vote no as the
Let's
rebel?
see. And there,
No, as a spy, occasionally you're supposed to vote yes, just
'Cause you're
to
a spy.
fuck with
Throw it
people.
off,
To
right?
fuck
Yeah.
with people.
And that's what
makes
how
it
you
hard
get it.
with 3. It makes it hard to cast that cast doubt on that. That's
I know
my
it's just
issue.
3.
Yes,
I think,
yes, yes.
That's right.
Say, who's on my team?
One of those.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So that means it was Mike the whole time.
It was me the whole time.
Or it's Chad and he keeps voting
Or
yes. to
Chad,
throw
or he's
off.
just elongating the game.
Yeah.
Okay, did any of you guys watch Once Upon a Time, the TV show?
right here, right?
These are my cards.
I saw the first season, which I loved, and then I've never bothered with the rest.
I watched
Which one?
Once Upon a
4
Time.
episodes of the first season.
It's the
and just
ABC
no.
Disney.
I was done with it.
Yeah, I did the same. I watched 4 episodes, maybe 5.
And I
with
basically
Julie.
was like,
we
4
really,
now.
really wanted to.
I actually really liked it.
We enjoyed it,
I don't know
but
why.
it just wasn't enough to continue on. I don't know.
I loved the whole first season, and I don't know why. I've just never. I mean, partially there's like a terrible breakup that I had that kind of like coincides with that show, so that's probably got a lot to do why I haven't picked it up again. But yeah, it's just I liked that show.
That seems like a perfect show to watch when you're all broke up.
Oh well,
You
the
know,
problem
just, like,
was
curled
is I
up
used
there on your couch with your blankie and you're watching it. Kind of that instead of like Princess Bride. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of the
but I used to
opposite.
watch the show with her. Was the problem.
I see.
I really liked it because of. Well, I'm a sucker. As I've talked about on the show before, I'm a sucker for fairy tales and I'm a sucker for old school Disney. So that show, sort of the mutation, the Grimm's fairy tale version of all of the old.
That was what was good about it.
Yeah.
But it just, it was like Heroes. I watched Heroes, a couple things, and I didn't like it. I watched a binge watching on Sci-Fi Channel or something like that, where they showed a marathon, and then I loved the first season, and I was so excited to see the second one, and then it crapped on me.
Mm-hmm.
And
We've talked about that before.
Yeah, Heroes took a fucking nosedive after season 1. Anyway, they've at the season finale. They've been through 3 seasons now, and the series finale, the season finale of season 3, they actually show as just a clip after the credits. I think is after the credits. A woman in a long blue dress with ice forming around her, walking away from the screen, a la Elsa from Frozen. They incorporated
It's too soon.
her.
Too soon.
No, that's what I'm saying. They incorporated her into the show while at the height of the movie.
Yeah.
Fanaticism.
No, that's and
Only if
that
she's
is-
called whatever
They've
Travolta
officially
mispronounced
cast
the girl's name.
Anna and Kristoff from the movie as well.
Wow.
Elizabeth Lale, a completely unknown actress, as Anna. And
Everybody needs to first understand that I have not seen Frozen, and I probably won't.
Hail, hail!
Let's move on.
I have a 2-year-old. I will see it. 2-year-old daughter. I will see it.
No,
very soon,
we'll
I'm
talk
sure.
about it. We'll talk.
I have an absolutely adorable wife. I've seen it multiple times. And Christoph as Scott Michael Foster, who is apparently in Greek, the ABC Family show Greek.
Which wasn't actually.
And actually, I looked at them. They looked the part. At least they looked the part. But they have not cast Elsa yet. Obviously, they have, but they haven't announced who it is.
They're gonna. I would assume that casting choice will wait till they're further on into production of the next season.
Wait for the question.
Sorry, go ahead.
Black bar of
Money
that.
Canyon.
Black bar of that.
Disney's Money Canyon.
Black bar. Just black bar him. Okay. No, what do you guys think of every time a Disney or Pixar movie comes out, them just fucking throwing it into this show?
All right. Obviously,
Pixar.
I'm
I
not
love that.
interested in the show, but this
Star Wars
is a
will be
fascinating
next.
scenario here.
The fat Asian kid from Up. This is the next one.
The demo for that show, you're gonna love that shit.
No,
This show could go on for fucking ever if they continue to do that.
I want to
That's
see Wall-E.
brilliant.
They do really cool story. The thing I do like
Ratatouille.
is though that like I said, the Grimm's fairy tale version of all of these Disney characters, and sort of the darker side of what would have to happen if they were legitimate people and not written by people trying to please 7-year-olds. Like the last season, a big thing they did was Peter Pan. Like
Yeah, I saw that they did a whole thing, Peter Pan.
yeah. And he was dark, and he led rebels, and it was cool. And like it's just small things like that, you know.
If any of us actually met Peter Pan, we would not like him.
No.
We wouldn't.
He'd be a douche!
Exactly. Man. Anyway.
What I'm waiting for, because they're going so far into it. Do you think they'll ever get to Mickey?
Oh my God. You think they're gonna hold back on that shit till the very last season? Like everybody's tired of doing it. The showrunner's done. He's like, all right,
Do whatever you want.
we're bringing out Mickey, Minnie, Goofy. Fuck it. Let's do
And
it.
Darth Vader.
Because it's owned by Disney, and they are using Disney characters.
Yes.
They're using Disney princesses: Mulan, Snow White, Elsa. These are Disney princesses.
Yep. And you know that stuff is in their back pocket. They're waiting for that's the big splash.
Also,
Why
and
not?
they have
Why
ventured into darker, deeper waters with Mickey. He has a series called Epic Mickey, the video game series, in which they do cover heavier topics.
There you go. So
Like what?
The death in the Disney universe. Like they talk about him killing people because he needs to get. It's an RPG that they made. And you can choose to erase or draw characters to get through the game.
I just have this.
Like
I
you
got
can,
this image.
and they don't just kind of go away. They just go away.
I got this image of Mickey like pinning down Goofy and putting a knife in him, like, shh, just let it happen. Just let it happen.
I've always loved you. You were my best friend.
oh, that's some that's some fucked up.
But he's got kids.
Oh man.
I know he's got the goof to him. Then there'd be a vengeance plot.
Yeah.
Yep, you can't take down Mickey. All right, yeah.
Jessica Rabbit too.
So nothing.
Everybody wants Jessica
no,
Rabbit.
no comment. Do you think that's?
Well, no, I like.
Would you be interested in that version of the show?
I
like a
still don't-
CGI darker Mickey.
I might look. I might watch.
No.
Just to see how they- I might watch.
Well,
a
Jiminy
couple
Cricket
episodes
was
just to pull it
a
off.
child counselor. It's not like.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
turn Jiminy Cricket into a person again in the show. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, have to.
I think it would be interesting to see an episode. I still can't see myself. I mean, I'm not invested in the show now.
No.
It wouldn't make me be invested later. No.
All right, let's move on since we're running out of time. Transformers Chinese earnings. Last week we talked about a plot where a Chinese company was trying to get it banned from the country
Right.
because of supposed contract infringements on sponsorships. Yeah, they let it into the country.
All right, well, there you go. Without changes, they just let it go.
Without changes.
There you
And
go.
here's what's up. It made more there than here.
I bet. I haven't.
Sure.
Yep.
And it made, it's
No, this is incredibly rare, actually. This has happened a couple of times. Avatar is one of the times.
Yep. These, I mean, this is the kind of big tentpole kind of movie that could translate so well, especially with a Chinese edit.
Oh, yeah.
I totally get that.
Well, this is a great way
There isn't a
to
Chinese
drum
edit,
up publicity
Seriously,
for your
they-
movie
they
is to create a
released
huge
the
controversy.
The same version they showed
The
in the
same version.
What?
And it was like a step removed from the people anyway.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, here's why. Like I was talking about last week, the reason they were all upset is because the company that owns the place that they filmed a bunch of stuff at was pissed off they didn't do sponsorship, whatever.
Right.
But they
you could
did.
read it.
They did. The reason they succeeded is because they did film a large percentage of the movie in China, and there is a character, Li Bingbing, that's her real name, who is a large character in the movie. They cast a Chinese actress, a large Chinese actress, very famous Chinese actress, in the movie.
Now, isn't
And a
she-
Chinese boxer as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, much smaller character.
Right, yeah, he's a cameo, but
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome.
Here's the numbers. It made $121 million in the United States and $134.5 million in China.
That's just opening weekend, though.
That's just opening weekend.
Still, that's
250 million worldwide opening weekend. That's not too bad.
But just U.S. I mean,
I want a
been
bigger one,
opening. There's been bigger opening weekends. Just we're just talking U.S.
Yeah, but you're talking about a movie that has 17% on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
Yeah, it's a good.
oh, is it
one.
up that high? I thought it was 13.
Well, it's actually 59% audience rating, so the critics are just being assholes. I think about it a little bit, but
I never.
they don't really like Marky Mark movies.
Well, that's the thing. Is a
Yeah,
lot of
absolutely.
people like.
Rockstar was
Michael
so
Bay.
awesome.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have surprised me with how good they like the movie. I'm gonna probably eventually see it. I'm not gonna go to the theaters to watch it. But the thing is that it did surprise me. Like when it came out, I'm like, it's gonna be a turd. And I expected all these people to come out and go, oh my god, it was terrible. And it was actually a lot of people that they liked it.
Yeah,
For the length that it is, I'm
3 hours.
not excited about seeing it. But
I don't really have a desire to see it, to be honest.
yeah, I'll see it at some point. At some point, I will
Yeah,
see
I mean,
it.
like, yeah.
I
Netflix
am
picks
the
it up,
most
whatever.
gigantic closet Transformer nerd. So, I mean, the thing was, like when I was a kid, I obsessed with the Transformers to the
Same
point,
here.
like I remember thinking over and over again, how could we make a movie of this when I was a kid? And I had actually studied a lot into what like the behind the scenes of movies. This is before CGI was actually even an option. So I'm like trying to think, all right, how could we do an animatronic of these the Transformers? And just so this stuff, it's been stuff that's been on my mind for a lot of years. So when they came out with the movies,
Yeah.
I'm a big critic,
Did you look at your family car and go, I could turn that into a Transformer?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dodge Volare.
Caprice Classic, actually.
My dad had a 73 Impala.
Ooh.
I don't remember what the name of the car
Nice.
was, but Mom and Dad had one of those 4-seat extra large vans.
Nice.
Like where there's like
the conversion kind
Yeah,
of where
the
it was like
giant-
a
Oh, yeah,
plushie
yeah.
shade on the inside,
yeah.
captain's chairs.
there was full
Yeah.
couches with leg room,
Where
and
you
it was
put
like
carpet
a
on the
bus.
walls.
It was the same size as the buses I took to wrestling meets when I was in high school. My parents just had that van. And it was brown
Yep.
and ugly as shit,
Yep.
but we had it.
And every time,
Took that motherfucker to California.
5 miles to the gallon.
every time you open that
Back when
sliding
that
door,
didn't matter. That didn't
always
mean a
matter.
fucking thing. 65 cents. Fuck it.
Hey, I remember when my mother hugely complained about gas hitting 75 cents.
Yep.
Massive. That was the first time I actually noticed it.
I'm
First
old.
time.
I'm old enough to actually remember sitting in gas lines with my dad
Oh, yeah?
during the Carter administration. So
It-
I'm that fucking old.
It
all
was
right?
just barely over $1 when I was in high school. When I started driving. When I started driving.
Yeah.
There you go. Walk down memory lane. Thanks,
Yeah.
everybody.
Fucking stroll down, slit your wrist lane.
Yeah, right.
All right, we're gonna move on. Do we want to vote one more time?
Let's do one more.
Okay. You're up to
This is a
vote on your
discard. Where's the
team.
discard?
I thought he was.
Discard over
Discard.
there.
You should be, right?
It's my turn.
Oh, it's your turn. Go ahead, vote your team.
I got to replay. Me, Andy, and Rich.
Still gonna vote no.
Okay, me, Andy, and Rich.
What?
He's going to keep saying no. You know why?
Yes. Yes. I don't trust any of you motherfuckers.
I just kill you. And I search your shit. And what do I find?
Shoot you out the airlock.
There we go.
All right, I lost. I lost. Rebel.
You were good, though. There was a moment I doubted myself.
I got
You thought you were a spy?
I thought I might have been a spy. I don't know. Mike.
Man, he really
doesn't
argues
seem
that
to-
one good.
Mike doesn't. He's pretty.
Look, I've played
maybe
this.
he's not
I've
the
played
spy.
this game a lot. I know how to make people distrust.
Maybe he's not. Maybe I am
You
the
were
spy. I
good.
don't
You
even
were
know
good.
it.
I know how to sow
All right,
the
so
seeds of
why did we
distrust.
need to keep these? I want to keep them pure because I was trying to figure out why.
What do you mean?
Why it mattered. That those
So that
were-
we can blind pick a yes and a no. So that nobody could see what cards you picked for yes or no.
But why would it matter?
What do you mean?
It's very specific that it mattered not to mix.
No,
See, I was
otherwise
having-
you'd have to go through the deck to try to find a red and a black card. This is just there's a red and a black card.
No, I get it. I get it.
No, his question was,
we
okay,
were winging it
there was
to
a
use the
point. There was
cards
a
to
point
make
where
it
he
work.
pulled off of the deck to use that.
Yeah, and then
As
you
a
flipped it
placeholder.
inside of there, and that's what I was like. Well, okay, why
Oh,
does that matter?
because the cards we had just shuffled back in were just sitting on the top, so I moved them. Then, because we
Yeah,
had
but
restarted.
I think his point
Yeah, but that
is
doesn't
why
matter.
why can't it be like that?
It totally could be like that. It really
Because,
wouldn't
okay,
matter.
this is why. Because when I went like this to choose mine, let's say you were watching, you saw me pick a king, and you also saw me pick a two.
Ah,
So then we go, oh, there's a king.
If
oh,
you
shit.
see what
It's
other
mine, they
people
know
are
it's my
picking
card.
for the color, then you'll know who voted
I mean, you'd
yes
have
or
to
no.
be able to count
But
cards.
you can do the
and
same
everything.
thing with yes and no. You just have
see,
to be
that is-
observant.
Well, yeah, it's true. You would
And that's
have
why
to-
you should.
Well,
like,
that's
do
why I
it.
always took my shit and I went like this. We're trying way too hard here.
by the way, I was having
All right, we're
a
gonna move
fucking
on- we're
awesome
gonna-
time as the damn spy, and it got ruined.
I knew you were.
You
spy.
kind of ruined. You helped
Anyway.
ruin it.
How did I ruin it?
I don't care. Let's move on to indie picks. Does anybody have? I don't think I told either of them.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Do you have a band or an indie movie or something like that's coming out recently or has come out recently that you would like to promote that isn't
This is
yours?
super awesome.
Something that you think is cool that maybe not a
I'm right
lot
on
of
the
people
spot.
would
I'm not
know.
good on the spot. I'm on the spot.
No, you're not. I'll do mine. I'll do mine.
I used yours 'cause I didn't pick
There's a game coming out July 15th called Wayward Manor, and it was written by Neil Gaiman and promoted on I think it was Kickstarted via that. But it's basically it's a story about you play a ghost, and the ghost is trying to. The people are moving into his house, and he's trying to kick people out of the house. He's basically you're playing this puzzle. It's a puzzle
Beetlejuice?
game with very cartoony sprites, where you are just trying to kick people out of the house. And as the game goes along, you start to identify with them and realize that they're in a shitty situation. So you start to help them as it goes. It's one of the rare games. It's one of the rare games that's puzzle comedy. Comedy video games are very, very hard to do.
Yeah.
And Neil Gaiman wrote a comedy video game. So I'm saying, and it's indie, super indie, and you should definitely check it out. July 15th, you can pick it up on Steam. It was programmed by The Odd Gentleman and Moonshark, and neither of those mean anything.
Neil Gaiman.
If you'd like to know anything more about it, go to whohauntsneil.com.
Neil Gaiman.
Matt Damon! Did you know that originally that wasn't his role in that movie?
Yeah.
Like, they got all the puppets. He had, like, a bunch of speaking lines, and they got all the puppets and looked at his, and they all looked fine, and they looked at his and like, looks like he has fucking Down syndrome. So they called Matt Damon and said, hey, this puppet looks really bad. Like, it's got some issues.
And this speaks well for Matt Damon.
It really does. And they go, can we just... the only thing you can say is your name, and Matt Damon goes, "Oh hell yes!" Like it speaks well to Matt Damon, like you said. It speaks
does.
well to the man
Thank you, Matt Damon.
that he was willing to sacrifice his role in the movie for comedy.
Exactly. Hey, Mike, what's it time for?
It's time for this thing we do at the end every week, and it's called the Hypothetical of the Week.
Thank you, man. Finishing that shit up right up here.
Oh, sorry.
You're late.
Oh,
Hey, Mike, what's the hypothetical this week?
The hypothetical this week is that there are There's a few movies coming out this year that are based on manga or comic books. One being The Edge of Tomorrow. I don't remember what the manga is called.
Generation Kill.
Generation Kill, there you go. And there's also another one called Snowpiercer, which is based on a French manga. And actually, that movie, it's a French manga based. That is
freedom manga based in what?
Freedom.
Okay, pause one
That
second.
is such an old joke, man.
It's not Generation
so
Kill.
old.
It's not Generation Kill. It's All You Need Is Kill.
Oh, you need. Okay, that's why I was a little confused. I knew Kill was in it because they wouldn't allow that as the title.
Tom Cruise would allow it.
All you need is kill.
Kill. Kill is all you need.
I was not in on that.
Also Snowpiercer, which is based on I don't know what the French name is for that, but it's
Les L'Officier.
Shot. It has a Korean director, shot in Korea, 80%
Actually, that would
English,
work.
starring Chris Evans, and it looks really, really good. It looks really,
you go.
really good.
It's a whole society on a train.
Yeah,
In
nuclear
the-
winter. Nuclear winter happens. The only
Which
people
actually,
left on.
yeah, it actually turns into real winter, nuclear winter.
Leave it
Yeah.
to the French to come up with a
The
story
only-
about people on a train.
The only
smoking
big-
cigarettes.
The only, the only people left on the planet exist in a perpetual motion train that's a couple miles long, and it's like 1,000 people, and that's the entire human race, and they have to
There you
move
go.
constantly. And it becomes a class-based system in which the people in the back of the train get almost nothing. They're given little bricks of protein bricks, and that's all their food is. And the people in the front of the train are the high class, and like they get all of the things. They get not good food.
And one of the
stuff
guys
like
in the
that.
back of the car disappears every week.
No. The punishment is they chop limbs off, so that like a large percentage of the population of the back of the train don't have limbs. And that's why Chris Evans is. That's why Chris Evans is selected as their leader for this rebellion because he has all of.
He's
his
the only one
limbs.
with all his
He has
limbs.
all of his limbs.
The one-eyed guy,
Fucking French are
is
weird. Anyway,
is
let's-
king. Okay.
No.
We need to wrap this shit up because I got things to do.
If there's a comic book, manga, or anime that you would like, or a cartoon that you would like to be put into a live-action movie, I would like you to pick it and then pick the director and star.
Let's not make this fucking hard, Mike. All right.
Or just fucking,
Jesus
just like, if you can't go
Christ.
all the way down the pipe, just pick the whatever cartoon, comic book, whatever the hell you want.
Oh my god. Oh man. So the source material is open, right? I mean, we can do.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be a manga. It could be.
No, a cartoon, comic book,
Okay.
just something along those lines.
Well, he's gonna pick Ghost in the Machine, or Ghost in the Shell. Excuse me. He's gonna pick Ghost in the Shell, so we can move on from there.
As a live action?
I don't think
He's
that
like,
would
"Fuck you,
translate
Chad."
very well to live action, actually.
No, it's got 2 movies, like 3 different television shows,
Yeah.
and
It's
many
good
Like
show.
lines.
6 American people watch him, and you're one of them.
That's not
Excuse
true.
me.
That's not true.
Come on.
75% of the people at this
This is a
table.
running thing.
75% of the people at this table apparently agree with him. So we're all on that side. You're a fucking asshole. Fuck you!
I'm Akira. He's Ghost in the
Akira.
Shell.
Would you want to do?
I would not want to see.
version?
I would not want to see a live action version of Akira. No, that would be
Well,
a bad
that's
idea.
that's what I'm looking for.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, there's 2 kinds of people in the world. There's Akira people, that's me, and there's Ghost in the Shell people, which is apparently you guys.
No. Honestly, I'm both of those people. I think you're drawing a line.
Why are you dividing lines here?
There is no line there.
There's a line.
Love.
There's a line.
Well,
I'm not
it's-
saying I don't like Ghost. This is becoming a different conversation. Anyway, what would you do? What would your
Okay,
thing be?
mine is neither a manga or a cartoon. It's a video game that I think never got the lighting.
Burger time.
No, it's called. It's a Clive Barker game called The Undying, and
Clive
Heard that one.
you need. It's about a guy that comes home from World War I. That he's got this. He inherits this stone from a guy that nearly kills him on the battlefield. And there was like this whole. He was a part of this unit that was supposed to go out and quell the. You know, like you have fairy folk tales.
Sure,
and,
sure.
And his thing was basically to convince these like villagers that things weren't real and all this stuff. And the more he tried to do his job, the weirder his job got. And then he comes home from the war to his friend's house. He lives in this mansion, right? And his friend his whole family has been turned into these demons, and it's fucking incredible. This thing needs to be a live action movie, and it needs to be directed by possibly Neil Gaiman. I mean, the game is so incredible. Maybe even just have Clive Barker do it himself, or maybe go out on a limb and have somebody new do it, like Cronenberg or something like that. I mean, it's an amazing story.
Cronenberg, I think, would be a good fit for any mindfuck video games because he's capable of psychological movies.
I'll give you that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there's a lot of that to this. I mean, it's just amazing.
Go, dude. I didn't mean to step on your shit. My bad.
You were right.
Also clean your shoes.
Yeah, well, yeah.
The most recent game that I really enjoyed that hasn't become already. I mean, there's Hellraiser coming out now, or Constantine rather coming out now.
Constantine, yeah, with the TV series.
Spawn actually was one that I enjoyed and really hated the movie of.
That was so bad.
The animated Spawn on HBO
it was great.
so much better than the
great.
live action film.
Eon Flux, another one.
They fucked that up.
They totally screwed that one up.
I think
so. If you don't want your dreams to die, you don't answer this question. But the game that I've enjoyed most recently, Shadow Warrior, actually. It's a remake of the old 90s super stereotypical one, but the Shadow Warrior game, the new one that came out last year, is actually super awesome. It covers everything really well.
Yeah? All right. I have not played the game. So.
Yeah, it's an awesome one.
Mike, what do you got?
Just ran out of my head, but they did a video game. It was like last year, 2 years ago, in which Ellen Page starred.
Where she had a psychic.
Staying Alive or
That actually rings a bell with me too.
is it the zombie one or the?
No, you have this psychic power.
Yeah, she has a psychic. She can
that's not what I was thinking
communicate.
at all.
She communicate, and it's actually her in the game. That game actually she isn't associated with. It just looks exactly fucking like her for no reason.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's her voice acting. They mocapped her for every scene. It's her in the game. And I just want to see the movie version of that. Basically, she can communicate with a ghost that's around her, poltergeist that lives and is connected to her in some way. And I just want to see the horror movie version of that. In which it's sort of Carrie-esque in my mind, yet and just like Carrie, you're always sort of rooting for her, despite the fact that she kills fucking everybody, right?
Yep.
But you're still rooting for her. You know what I mean? And I always thought it would be not necessarily. A lot of these, especially when we're talking about video games, they don't necessarily translate to movies very well. But if you could do like an HBO series or something like that, that would be very good. As far as like a standalone movie would be concerned, I'm just waiting for Deadpool.
That actually was mine.
And not the fucked up one from Wolverine Origins, the actual Deadpool.
Real Deadpool.
Now it still could be Ryan.
He can still play the role.
signed.
He
He's
can absolutely
Completely
play
He wants to do it.
rewrite it.
Yeah,
He wants to do it, and he's great as it.
He says it's his worst relationship because it keeps going. We're gonna do Deadpool. Nope, sorry, we're gonna. Oh, we're gonna do that, and the filmmakers keep doing that to him.
Yeah.
They keep basically getting him hyped up to do the Deadpool again, and they're like, "Oh, sorry." And he says it's been like his worst relationship ever because it's like such an emotional turmoil because he loves his character, but he's never gonna get. It's like they keep dangling it in front of him, but they never quite let him do it.
I saw an interview with him where it was post Green Lantern, and they asked him, "You've done Green Lantern, you've done Deadpool. Is there anybody else like in a dream sequence you'd ever want to play?" And he's like, "Hell no. This has been an awful situation. I love the characters, I love doing the movies, but everything after that has been fucking nightmare."
Yeah, you get attached to the wrong things or done in the wrong way. I mean, they retcon the entire X3 and Wolverine origin stories out of the new.
No, he's
X-Men,
outed himself as a nerd who's into this stuff, but
Sure, but I'm just saying-
I totally get it as it's probably just a fucking nightmare to deal with.
Well, the whole point that I was trying to make was that Marvel is completely disowned those two because they didn't fit into the universe
No.
that they really wanted them to.
Right.
Well, and that's what I'm
That's-
saying. I think
yeah.
if they do a Deadpool movie, I still think it'll be him. But I don't think it'll have anything to fucking do.
What I kind of wonder too, because well, I guess it's Fox though, isn't it? Yeah, that's
Fox.
That's Fox.
We're getting deep now, people.
Well, because the problem, with like, as I understand it, like this is one of the big reasons why Marvel's doing so much better than DC is that Marvel's being allowed. Well, Marvel's being allowed to let they're letting the directors or the people involved actually do their thing, and they're stepping out. Whereas DC is getting so involved in the whole process, and that it's getting to the point where it's like nothing can move.
Well, Marvel took a massive gamble because I try to remember which they actually mortgaged one of their comic book characters. I can't remember which one it was. They would have lost the rights to use a comic book character in their own comic books. If whatever happened to be being shot at that time didn't work out.
And yours is Deadpool?
Well, I was going to say Deadpool. I mean, because that's an obvious thing. They've already fucked up a couple of them. The Crow is one of my favorite graphic novels.
I don't think the Crow will ever come back here.
The first one was good.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't the Crow. Okay, it wasn't the comic book. And
I think they're fucking up the current what's the new show they're doing for NBC or whatever.
which one were we talking about?
No, the Darkstalker was the original Keanu.
Hellraiser.
Constantine. I think they're fucking.
Yeah, it's gonna
I think they're gonna fuck that up.
Yeah, they already said that.
He doesn't
Constantine
smoke.
can't
He doesn't smoke in the series.
Constantine can't smoke. What the fuck is that about? But ultimately, since you said Deadpool, I think I have to go, and I think most everyone who's ever seen this show knows what my answer is going to be. Because in 1992, a meteor hurled between the Earth and the Moon, unleashing cosmic destruction. 1,000,000 years later, the Earth was reborn. An Earth of savagery, super science, and sorcery, but one man breaks his bonds to fight for justice. With Ukla the Mach and Princess Ariel. He rides the plains with his fabulous sun sword. He is Thunder the Barbarian! Directed by Robert Rodriguez. Boom!
Boobs.
Mike?
Wait, why you do that?
What?
I got.
What do you want? Thunder, played by Bryan Cranston. There, I got all my jokes in.
Old.
All my jokes.
Remember, look up cool stuff, talk with your friends, play games, play!
Fuck that! Fuck
Okay, I gotta turn shit off now.
Look up Undying! Do it!
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. This was totally unfunny, this whole episode.
No, you're not unfunny. Look, Chad, I've always said this about you.
insane.
You're not unfunny. You're just the absence of humor.
Fuck you, Mike.